Yeah, Robert. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, Robert. Nice job, bud.
Robert Keller, the winner. Yeah, hell of a win, Robert. Nice job.
How do you do burnout?
You for yours.
Let's go. OCRP iRacing is back. Season 8 has begun. Hope you enjoyed that highlight package from the Daytona race last week. I'm adding this on to the end of it as almost like a little kind of talk show, almost like Sirius XM for NASCAR. We're doing this for the OCRP series. When it came to me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to interview the winner or someone big from the race, and guess what? I'm the winner. I'm the winner now. So this is now my show. No, but yeah, I didn't get to plan out this first one too much, so it's just gonna be me. But in future ones, I hope maybe once in a while we could get a guest on here just to talk for a few minutes more in depth about their race, how they feel going into the following races, or as Civ Ryan would have in his previous broadcast, who's having beef and whatnot. All right, so let's look back at this previous one at Daytona. As we know, there's a lot of luck involved, but still, you have to, if luck goes your way, you have to be doing everything right to make sure you can take advantage of it, obviously. So that's kind of what happened. Looking back on those highlights, again, I can't thank Osborne enough. Clint Spells was a huge part of pushing us on the outside, and even Wes Graham and Bugs on that outside lane were really big in helping me get to the front there at the very end. So shout out to that outside lane getting their crap together. So that was nice that it actually worked. But yeah, let's run through some of the show. This is the chicken nuggies of the race, almost like Larry Mack's nuggets. The OCRP series. So we went to Daytona for our 5th time, right? 4 of our drivers got their first wins there. I was the latest one, obviously, getting my win last week, but we also had Josh Jones, Brandon Osborne, and Jeffrey Spells all get their first victories. So the last 4 Daytona races has done that. Kind of shows you the parity fest that is Daytona, right? The very first time this league went to Daytona in season 2, Wes Graham got a win there, but that was not his first win. I became the 19th different winner in our 85-point scoring race history. So we've had 85 races that have scored points for championships. We've had 19 different winners. That's pretty cool. Of course, that's not counting season 4, which was sort of an exhibition trial season. We were trying out a bunch of different cars. So apologies if anyone won during that. That's not really in our records. The race was 2 cautions shy of tying our most at the track, but overall, it was a good race. For the amount of drivers we had racing and the first time being together, I was honestly really impressed that we didn't spend more time under yellow, especially at a track like Daytona. So honestly, pretty impressed with it. I thought it was a great race, especially watching it back. Maybe that was due to the work that Jeff and Ryan did on the broadcast, but I thought it was pretty entertaining. We got a good finish out of it and so on. I personally like Daytona as the season opener. I think obviously it's an easy track. Anyone can drive this thing. It's just a nice way to kind of get to know everyone. If you have new faces like we do, you can kind of like see who's a little bit squirrely, who's going to work with you kind of stuff, who's going to give and take. And it's also just a nice, easy track to get the cobwebs out. I mean, when you're racing it, it's just nonstop stress. So that's not fun. But otherwise, I love this as a season opener. It's always a good way to get it going. And oftentimes you'll get a new face out front, which is cool. I think I didn't touch upon this. 38 drivers. 38 drivers blew our record for most drivers in one race out of the water. That was previously 21 at season 6 Daytona. We went from 21 to 38 drivers. I almost feel like the 38 is going to break our average, even if we have horrible attendance the rest of the season, which isn't going to happen. But even if we did, I think that would almost break our average attendance easily at this point anyway. So that's awesome. Congratulations to Matt Rucci on his first career pole. Apologies if I said that wrong. And again, as I go through this, I forgot to take notes on the pronunciations during the meeting. So apologies. I remember Bookman. But if I mess up anything, just let me know in a Slack. Let me know in a Discord message, and I'll get that fixed up for the next episode. Obviously, nice job by Bookman for leading the most laps with 24. Unfortunately, I think he got caught up in something. I don't know. He wasn't the one that ran out of fuel, right? I don't know. I have to look back. But he didn't get to finish in the top 20, unfortunately. But most laps led, a nice start, getting some experience out front. And after that Wreckfest, we also have to take a cap off to Spells, Allen, Ritchie, and Essery for finishing all 61 laps with a 0x. Now, I think it was Allen, I believe it was Allen, that came on Discord. He didn't have a hood, but he had the 0x, so that's all right. You can keep that. You can keep that little nugget right there. Let's look at standings. Doesn't matter. It's just the race results. Stat leaders don't matter. Just one race. But we'll touch more on those as we go. Let's look a little bit into Rockingham. This is where having the more experienced drivers, like if Wes won or Osborne won or so on, this would have benefited having them on the show. But we'll just go with my minor expertise from my. I did run about 150 practice laps so far. Probably more than that, honestly. I forget how many, but this is what my takes are from it, as well as just some of the details going in. So race breakdown, 120 laps. It's just over a mile in length. Really watch out for turn 1 entry, because that's going to decide how your turn 2 is going to go. And the most dangerous part in this on this track is turn 2 coming out, the exit. So just keep in mind, especially on that race restart, I think I'm looking at Wes's post here on who's attending. I think we're up to 36 thumbs up. I think we're going to need a little give and take going in this one. So especially on that first one, people are going to get a little loose. Please don't run anyone over. Please be careful. It's all right to take that just a little slower than usual, just to get around until those tires come into play. I think the tires really, they didn't kind of hit that sweet spot until at least 2 laps in, maybe 3 laps. So just keep that in mind on the busy race day. 3 and 4, a little bit more forgiving. Not too worried about those, honestly. But as usual, each driver will have 2 sets of tires in the pits and 2 fast repairs. Now, tires are also going to come into play here. During my long runs, now I'm not the best tire saver, so maybe this is just me having issues, but my goodness, by the end, I was trying to do 40 lap runs there, and when I would come in just to see how the tire wear and fuel was and everything, I was struggling. It was pushing up to that wall. So I think tire management is going to come into play if we go green, but I don't think we're going to go green that long. Maybe we'll get a solid green flag run in there somewhere, but I have a feeling a lot of cautions are going to give us brakes on those tires to extend their lives a little bit. I think there's going to be a lot of self spins or people getting loose, going low into turn 1 and 2, getting up into the wall or whatever. I think there's going to be quite a few of those. So, yeah, that's going to give us some breaks there. Other than that, I don't have too much else to talk about. It's kind of know who's got the hot hand. Kind of hard to know who's got the hot hand with just Daytona behind this. But a lot of the big names from previous seasons are up there. Obviously, Osborne in second. I think he's going to be real hungry for a win, especially kind of playing that nice guy role, helping me out, pushing me to the front there. It's going to be, this season is going to be interesting because normally, so for example, last year, Wes, Osborne, Bugs, all battling out front. If they had an issue during the race, they only went back to like 12th, if that, right? Now, if you have an issue during the race, you're going back to 38th or whatever, somewhere around there. And then you have to fight your way through all of those cars. So that kind of stuff is going to come into play a little bit more this season, where if someone has a bad day, it could hurt them big time in the points. And we're going to see a little bit more of a gap, I think, in terms of how that's going to play out throughout the season. So getting those wins when you can get them is going to be huge. And I think Osborne is definitely hungry for those wins, and I view him as a good tire saver and so on. So on this track, I think he's looking pretty good going in. Let's take a look at the practice times though from that Monday practice session. Again, just practice. People are trying things. This isn't really probably going to be the qualifying order or anything like that, but it's still at least a little bit of insight into what we're working with. Dylan Macedo, and again, if I mispronounce that, let me know. Leading the practice session with a 23.43. Osborne, a 23.5. So Macedo, the only one in that number 25 car under a 23.5. Osborne, Gray, Graham, and Federaro, all in the 23.5 range, the only ones to do that as well. And then Brown, Hilton, Stevens, Essery, and Beaver also running in the top 10 in practice. So once you get past that point, the times aren't too different. It's going to be a pretty tight field in the mid-pack. But other than that, I don't have too much more to add. We'll look into maybe improving this show. Again, having maybe an interview or two moving forward. Or if I don't have time during the week to put that highlights package together, maybe at least we could get this done. Because this is pretty easy to do. I'm just talking about the race. But yeah, we've never been the Rockingham. I don't have any special stats for you going in there. So let's make some history. If you want to watch, if you aren't in the league and you want to watch, Jeff Faviano on his Twitch, definitely check that out. Him and Civ Ryan, a masterful job at the Daytona race. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that back and having my friends and family watch the stream live for that victory was really awesome too, to celebrate with everyone. So go check that out. They do a great job. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern is when the races start. Every Thursday, you have the schedule up on the screen right now. And good luck to everyone out there. If any drivers are listening, remember, give and take. Give and take. Let's have a good race. Good luck to everyone. And I'll try to keep my hand on that points lead. I'm gonna enjoy my time with this points lead as long as possible, which is about to 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. So, all right, everyone have a great day. Until next time.